live. Hello. Yes, oh yes, I accept your cookies. Please show me the things. People the things. Alright, so here we go. Doing something a little different. Probably just gonna wait for people to arrive. I wanna have a little chat about the Dune of the 2021s before we go and play more Metroid Dread, which is still a thing I'm gonna do. Actually, let me make sure my controller is charged for that, so I don't run into trouble. There we go. Is this working? We obviously don't get quality options, but that shouldn't matter too much if we get to talk about Stoof. I'm guessing the audio should be fine. At least to the degree we get audio, because it's just gonna be me talking. I don't know if I'm gonna maybe put music in it in the future. I don't know. But this is probably gonna be akin to what I did with the Tomorrow War. But I'm all by my lonesome, all alone, doing my things and the stuffs. And then we're gonna play a game after. Oh, the game is, I don't know. This came up on pretty short notice, but that is fine with me. Talking about a random movie and not playing the game. I know, right? It's how dare I? How dare I do the thing and not do the other thing? Absolutely disgusting. I can't watch reading the Dune book right now, so eat grass, Gorman. No worries. I mean, I don't know if there's any or any crossovers there. I don't know if it's adapted well. I have no idea. I have no connection to Dune whatsoever. Yeah. Doug Pick just gave me a stay. How was it? It was funny. It was very funny. It was better than the other two. That's for sure. I can tell you that much, because this one actually had one or two characters that were kind of interesting. Yeah, we had good fun. It's on the archive channel. You can go and have a look see at it. It was good fun. It was good fun. Salim is the best boy. Salim is a fucking super mega chad. A super mega chad, that's for sure. Hey, Goger. Yes, I did see it. I watched it with Mubelstein, and yeah, talking Dune. I liked it. That's your opinion, Dab. Yeah, yeah. I'm just gonna wait for some people to arrive, because I'm probably gonna bounce back and chat here a little bit, because I'm all alone. I'm just gonna go through the movie and just talk about what I found interesting or weird or whatever. So yeah, this is pretty short notice. I'm pretty much just gonna wing it and see how people like this kind of thing. Maybe later on with some other people and other movies. We could just talk about Dune every week or something. Only Dune, nothing else. This is a Dune channel now. Haven't seen it yet? Well, sorry. It's a pretty faithful adaptation, not one-to-one, but the events are pretty much the same, except the movie cuts out a few. I see. Yeah, guess you mentioned beforehand, I have no connection to Dune. I don't think I've seen the other ones that came out, like, I don't even know when they came out. I think there were movies before, 3 even. I might have seen them, but I don't remember them at all, so maybe it's the same. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah. Let's see. We'll not watch Strom. Have a nice evening, beer one. Yeah, no worries. I'll be on for a while. I'll be streaming more Gorms in a little bit. In a little bit. I guess we're talking about like 1 or 2 hours about this, maybe. I don't know. Oh man, we got the Barbenheimers. Apparently, Army of the Dead 2 will have time travel and other timetisms. Jesus Christ. I'm sure it's gonna be fantastic. Watch the archive for this when I see it. Yeah, no worries. Catch you around. More like Coom channel, absolutely. I was supposed to rewatch House of Ashes stream while you're streaming. Hey, the content never stops. You should know this. It's October, man. Also, I stream almost every day, so even if it's not October. So, joke's on you. Get punched with a coaster. Anyway, the sequel of Train to Busan has actually got the plot of Army of the Dead and sucks, so instead of hurting your eyes, you can see half the time. That is already a big plus. The Dune games. Yes, I played them like way back. When did that release? Dune games. I think I had those in a gaming collection, I want to say. I feel that's where I got them and played them. When was that release? Let's see. Give me a year, Google. Oh, there's more than one. Give me the 1992 Virgin Interactive Adventure of Strategy. Yeah, I did play an RTS of it. I'm pretty certain I did. Not the toaster defend. Internet games. Yeah. I don't know of one RTS. Yeah, I played the RTS. I haven't played the other ones. Yeah, I think I saw just 5 on a quick Google Arena search. RTS is fun. Yeah, I remember it being pretty fun. Good evening, Metal. Do all other games seem boring now that you've played House of Ashes? Yeah, House of Ashes was the best game ever. I will never play another game ever again, obviously. But yeah, I guess I'll just go right into it. So pretty much starts with a little explanation what the Dune planet is. What are they called? The Harkins? No, I think the Harkons are the baddies. Yeah, it's like they harvested the planet for the spice and Arrakis. Yeah, there we go. Very much gives a little introduction. Yeah, the Harkooners. Can't remember the name. But yeah, the baddies were just getting all the spice, get obscenely rich off of it, and Harkonnen, not a bad Harkonnen, yeah, alright. Spices made from uncut beans polluting in the ground. That is not true. I think there might be lore that I'm not aware of. Anyway, yeah, they've been obscenely rich because of all the spice they got. Apparently richer than the Emperor itself, which probably is the reason why they got them away from the planet, because they got way too rich. And then the Iraqis pretty much like suffering all the time because of that, because they just got basically invaded, tried to defend themselves. They had their little sand hideouts, I guess, and yeah, pretty much just defend himself, constant battling and everything. And then at one point, Imperium is like, okay, that's enough. You have to get the fuck off this planet because you're doing too much fleems. So the Frems. So this is the thing, I didn't really take a lot of notes because this was like last minute, so I apologize. I'm just trying to remember it by heart. But I think chat can probably, yeah, Fremen, exactly. Yeah, by imperial decree, they had to leave. And that's about it for that little intro. We greet with our main character, Paul, who just woke up. I think we see his first dream slash vision. Yeah, dream slash vision. So you better get used to these visions because they're all over this movie. He just has visions all the time. First in dreams and later while they're crashing into a storm. And yeah, we get like tips and helpful stuff through the visions or premonitions, whatever you want to call them. But yeah, he wakes up from one of the streams, and we're on Caladan. Yes, Caladan, which is the homeworld of House Atreides, which is the faction we'll be following throughout this movie. Uh, du- 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 du. Yeah, they have like a little breakfast. He Paul and his mother, and this is where we're getting introduced to the super mechanic of just telling people to do stuff. The mother is already able to do this, but Paul is still in training. And it's like, can you please give me the water? And the mother is basically like, oh, if you want if you want the water, make me give it to you. And I'm not sure if it's already told that needs to be a special voice or tone of voice he needs to do so it works. But apparently, if you say it in a specific way and you're of specific descendant, you can do the voice. Yeah, I'll just go with Swirlpool. I just call it the voice. I don't know if it's that what it's called. I don't know if they tell us in this movie. I'm not sure. But let's go with the voice because it is a very specific voice they do later on in the movie. That's what it's called. Yeah, I believe you. I believe you. I just don't. I'm not. I don't know if they told us in the movie if it's called The Voice. That's what I. That's what I was wondering. It is in the movie. Okay, cool, cool. Right, and then it's give me the water, and obviously does nothing, and apparently he tries again, and then it kind of works, and she moves it over. So yeah, there's like a little teaser for the voice he can do. And then he gets his little water. Oh yeah, then we get like a basically a little exposition dump. Because I think he's in his room and he's looking at a little projector. And he's reading about the Fremen and how harsh the weather is. And this is also already where the. Oh, this is where we hear about the spice as well. So it's like a little exposition dump. It's like, oh, this Fremen, harsh weather, sand, spice. There you go. Now you know about the things you probably already know about if you ever heard of Dune, which is because that's what I knew about Dune: spice, sand, worms, all that good stuff. Yeah, while they tell us about this, we see the big old floaty space station that has the big hole in the middle, which I think is from the Imperium. I don't think they call them anything else. I think they just call them the Imperium throughout the movie, which I guess is just if I remember the games correctly, it just they are just called the Imperium. I think so. Yeah, we see like an ambassador landing on their home planet, basically saying, yo, you need to go to the planet and bring peace to Acades." I think that's basically, yeah. There's no faith that we betray. Yeah, they can basically have no other choice. But yeah, Iraqis. The Emperor wants him to go to Iraqis and bring peace. Man, I hope this goes well and not horribly wrong. That would be sad. Yeah, that's alright. I think they just leave after this. They get like a little seal of Iraqis. No, Arakis. Arrakis. There we go. Not Iraqis, Arrakis. Sorry, I'm still in House of Ashes mode with the Iraqis. But yeah, that's about it. They just seal the deal, quite literally. They have like a little seal with wax, put it on there. Then we get greeted by Duncan, who still has his Aquaman beard in this one, but later on he has no beard at all, which I found super distracting because I've never seen him without a beard before. So it was quite interesting to see. But yeah, he basically get see that they're good friends. Paul and Duncan, that is. Rocky C. All right. Yeah, the buddies, friendos, if you will, and he tells him about the dreams where he sees him getting killed, and he wants to go with him to the planet already before everyone else, just to help him survive, because he thinks he's gonna die if he goes alone. But this does not happen. He's gonna be fine for the time being. A rock and a hard place. Wait a minute, that's not his era. Flubeldank keys. Yeah. Blowhole needs to be cleaned. Do you choose a friend, a family member, or a stranger for help? Man, I don't know. Probably a family or a friend. Friends would understand about the blowhole cleaning, that's for sure. Yeah, I don't know if the meaning of the spice isn't a bit undercut for the slowest movie watcher. I mean, traveling through the universe is huge. Yeah. Salim should make a ribs phase 4. Paul gets two visions essentially, and he thinks they're both the same vision. Yeah, pretty much. He gets many more visions later on, but he thinks that Duncan is gonna die when he's going to the to the lads. A rack of ribs. And I saw you lying dead, fallen in battle, and yeah, we basically see the scene we see later on in the movie, much later on, like the last quarter of the movie. And yeah, he's basically, no, you can't go with me, you have to stay here. And then he goes to a hillside, a cliffside, which is his grandfather's grave, where his dad is hanging out, looking out for the grave. Has like a little guard, and then they have a little talky talks where he basically tells, where Paul tells us that, oh, I need to go with him. I had like dreams and stuff, and you need to. Wait, does he tell him about the dreams or only? No, I think he just wants him to approve that he goes with Duncan on the scout mission. I don't think he mentions the dreams to his father. His father is like, nah, this can't do this. That's you going with us like everyone else. And yeah, you need to be you're the future of the Atreides faction, and you're my son. It's like a little conversation where Paul is like, I had all this training. I don't really know what else to do. Like, why am I training so much if I can't go to real danger? Nothing super crazy. Like, he really tries to get his dad to approve his little thingy. Oscar Isaac's allowed to act in this movie. I know, right? Yeah, the acting in this movie overall is really good. Like, I have no problem with the acting at all. So yeah, he basically refuses him, but also tells him, even if you fail as a leader after I'm done, you've been my son. That's all I need you to be. It's like, oh, okay, that's pretty wholesome. That's nice. They're like real people at least, so that's good. And yeah, when we're done with this, we get a little training scene with him and Gurney. Yeah, Gurney is his name, which I think is like a general leader person for their military. Um, yeah, and they have like a little sparring session where they tell us about the whole shield and sword thingy, which is pretty important for the movie, but also, yeah, we're gonna talk about this. For let me see, Salim's text MCU. Check the House of Ashes wiki. Nearly every character is a reused model from either Medan or Little Hope. These people just don't give a fuck. Are we gonna talk about the Vision? It was literally a flashbang in the cinema. Oh, was it? I mean, I don't remember. Which one was it? I don't remember it. Mention Dream Hell, couldn't every bright scene was a flashbang in the cinema. Like a little chat here, Oscar Isaac's lot to act in the movie. Yeah, he says that all he needs to Paul is to be his son. Then it says that a great man doesn't seek to lead, he is called to it. I like that line. Yeah, was alright. It was alright. I didn't mind that at all. Toxic masculinity. We watching a movie in German. Yeah, acting was nice, wasn't it? Get the privilege of the preview for the next game. The goes to the reused model of Fliss from Man and Medan. Oh. Fight scenes with ship mechanic equals visible confusion. Yeah. So, because this is where we have like the little sparring session. Yeah, so they activate their shields, and what they not only show, but also very precisely tell us, if you move your sword slowly, it goes through the shields, which in itself is not a hard rule to follow. Yeah, they say the slow blade penetrates the shield. It's like, so in theory, this could be neat, I think. But what's weird is when we see fighting scenes later on, they just do normal sword fighting, and it doesn't look like they get slower at all. Especially remembering the last fight that Duncan has. They just have like pretty quick sword fights, and he still gets through the shield. But yeah, I don't think this mechanic works very well in. I don't know how to do it anywhere else in the books or whatever, but it looks like they just have a normal sword fight and just kill each other most of the time. I couldn't really make anything out where they just got slower right beforehand. So that was kind of wonky. Also, I think that's their explanation that they not that they are not using any kind of rifles or whatever, which is weird because there's also parts in the movie where they fight and don't use shields at all. Like the Fremen, for example, they don't have shields. So I don't know. I think just rifles could still be useful. Yeah. Still to move the blade into position quickly and it goes slow through the shield. I think it's a close-up would help. Falls, Duncan make fast sword fight moves before hitting a shield. He slows his move and sword branch shield. I don't know. That didn't look like that to me. I might have to look back at it, but I'm pretty sure he moved pretty quickly through the multiple enemies he fights there at the end. I don't know. I give it a look-see later on, see if I can see it, but I don't know. Fremen don't have that technology. Also, rifles would work on what? Well, on the Fremen, like if they don't have shields, you can still use it. They also use like different kinds of weaponry in general, but that's on spaceships. If the shield blocks guns, people would just use bigger guns. Yeah, you could still use like explosives and shit. Use it because the worms. Oh yeah, the worms would get attracted. Exactly. Yeah, you're right. Well, we're in minutes sounds more clear to program just for the sake of cool. Yeah, like, I don't know. this the Shai Hulud looks sexy as fuck. Shields are dumb, and you know why they're here, because it's cool. Yeah, probably. But yeah, that's basically it. What comes next? Oh yeah, we see Batista talk to our big evil in the movie, pretty much. Why don't you always assassin dart robot thing that they show in the movie? Oh, you mean the little mosquito thingy? Yeah. Yeah, it showed the big chongus guy who can float, which I don't really know why. I guess that's a thing he can do with his machines on his back. But he's just yelling at him, he's like, "Oh, why did we have to go? We too rich and stuff." It's basically just a little thing where we can see the baddies. Right, the Paul's mother is waking him up to get to her, to get to the, what is she called? Like like some kind of leader, truth sayer, or something. I didn't really catch the name. Reverend Mother. Oh, Gaius Helen Mohiam? Mother Superior, yeah, something around those lines. And yeah, his vitals get checked by Dr. Yuan, which will be important later. The guy will be the scary witch, yeah, pretty much. This stream would be better if you would be in a hot tub. You're obsessed with hot tubs, my friend. Lord Hargon have special suit to move because he's a movie pop. Which makes for an interesting visual, because he has like this long thing on him. It looks like he has like super longman legs, but that's the thing. But yeah, she can pretty much use the voice as well. And yeah, Paul's like, what am I doing here? Why are you being a meanie to my mom in her own house? That's kind of fucked up. And she basically just like, shut up, come over here, deal. And it's really better than how to also show your feet. He gets kind of dragged over. I think he just doesn't. I think it's kind of his point of view, because she uses the voice on him, and he basically just teleports over to her and kneels. So she's basically here to test him if he's ready to use the voice. She holds a dart to his neck or to his throat, which she says has deadly poison, instant death. Put your hand in this little box thingy, and he puts it in there. If you get your hand out, you die. Pretty much. That's about it. If you do it, you die. And it's like, oh, why? What's the catch? Apparently, that box just generates huge amounts of pain. And I think the idea is he has to control his urges so he's not like an animal, I think she says. And yeah, we get like a minute or two where he feels the pain. He goes like, pain. Pain by nerve induction. Yeah, because he doesn't have any wounds on his hand or anything. It's just like a reaction thing that makes him feel pain. And at first he is like, you can see he's in pain like crazy. But then he gets a grip. And basically has like, I think he has like more visions. I don't really know what they were or if they were super important. I think he saw some fire. Might be a vision for the attack later on. I'm not sure anymore. But yeah, he doesn't get his hand out. His mother helps him and takes some of the pain. Was that what they were trying to say? I thought she just felt the pain as well, because she could use the voice. I mean, I don't know how that works mechanically, I guess. So yeah. His mother remembers the pain. Yeah, she makes sense that she got tested as well at some point, yeah. Thirsty boy. But yeah, you see her in front of the door and making sure no one comes in if someone would arrive. Yeah, I shall not fear, for fear is the mind killer. Yeah, feels his pain. If she helped him, then he would have been killed. Yeah, yeah, I would say so too. From what we can tell, this witch mother is super powerful mind lady. But yeah, but basically he is pretty much ready
Yeet.
and available for that. Hey, Riza, thanks for the resoup. 90 months, thank you very much. How's it going? Going alright, just going over the Dune movie. Yeah. And then she said outside, like, so much potential wasted in the mail. So I think what the normally only women get these powers. So I don't know if it's just normally they don't get trained, the males, because they get to be more warrior kind of deals. I didn't really understand that from what the movie told me. Maybe I missed it, I'm not sure. So I obviously only watched it once, so yeah, because there's so much potential wasted in the male, but you choose to uh which it's a feminist group essentially. Okay. But yeah, apparently it's not normal or standard that a male gets to use the voice or the powers. But yeah, that's about that. And I think in the next scene they pack up and leave for Arrakis. Yeah, yeah. Next scene, they just make their way to Arrakis. When they arrive, they use some they use bagpipes. That caught me off guard. But apparently, in the lore, Earth does exist, is in the history. So bagpipes are not out of the question. But it just caught me off guard that they just got out with bagpipes. Just seemed so out of place. But yeah, that's good. More caught me off guard. It's not a huge issue for me. It's just like, okay, we just did the thing. One of my favorite characters, screw you. Yeah, they get quote unquote greeted by the natives, I guess, which apparently they had to be there. They were forced to be there. At least that's what the general Chongus man says. Then we see I guess they're helicopters for the first time, which look like some kind of insect. Oh, I forgot which insects they look like. Man, the name just completely escapes me. Chad, help me out. Dragonfly, yeah. Dragonfly, firefly. Yeah, dragonflies. There you go. Which I really like. Oh, I just like that was like one of my favorite things. Just the design of the ships and everything. Like the CGI is like top notch. Looks like really, really good. His mother had to born daughter to House Atreides, and in future this girl had to marry to Harkon to make peace between House because she loves so much his father. You know, if you and the family Nazis and give birth to boy. Oh, okay. Fair enough. Facts look amazing. Yeah, the CGI and how everything looks, just in general, it's like pretty cool. I really enjoyed that. Then we get to see the whole city / spice mining station thingy and the double moons. And the big moon they call the hand of God because it looks like a hand basically. Right, and then they just arrived there. They had to what do they talk about? Sun. Oh yeah, the sun is getting too high. Need to seal the doors, telling us that that it gets very hot on this planet and you can't walk outside with special equipment. And there's a lineup of people for housekeepers. And it's like, yeah, there's some candidates for housekeepers. And there's one with very blue eyes, which is, I think, a staple of Dune as well. The blue eyes, which I think has something to do with the spice. I'm not sure how that works. And she gifts her a weapon, the Chris Blade, I think it's what it's called. It's like, oh, you're worthy, blah blah blah, and then she gets to be the housekeeper. Then we see the one guy watering the palm trees. You get it from using spice. Okay, yeah, okay. I remember that correctly-ish. Same movie that them living on the planet breathing and so much spice gives them blue eyes. Okay, yeah, that's just something I remembered in general. That somehow with the spice they get all these blue eyes. Yeah, we also seen the vision that Paul has blue eyes as well, which doesn't happen in this movie. I think that's just a seed planted for the next one. Yeah, then we have this little scene with the, I guess, the gardener, the sand gardener. He's watering some kind of palm trees, which need like, which he drinks the equivalent of 5 men, I think. Yeah, and we see him again in his room now on the planet, doing more research, schooling, I guess. I don't remember if it was in the movie, but it's 100% in the book. You should learn to read, then you can review the book. What? I can't read, yeah. That's a happy birthday, Metal. Oh, thank you. Yeah, he's back in his, he's in his room there, which you probably more see as an apartment, because it's a huge room. Yeah, he's doing more research about the planet. That's where we learned about the Fremen's cross-desert spacewalks, or just the sand walk they do, which is like basically shimmying around, not making a constant noise, or like, is it constant noise? Is that the right term? Constant noise? Also, yeah, thanks for the raid. Appreciate that. Rhythm, yeah, not a rhythmic voice or frequency, which he will use later on as well. And then I think this is where the little mosquito device comes in. Oh yeah, which apparently burns through the wall into his room, and he kind of stays still, hides in a little hologram projection he has, and gets super close to his eyes, and he basically catches it before it can attack the housekeeper. And the general dude is a the sand anus is creepy. No, you'll need to work with. Yeah, I just call him head of security, general dude. Because he failed to protect the sun from people. And is this already where we see the guy in the wall, which is interesting? A colonel, general, some kind of leadership thingy. Yeah, then we see one of the Imperial people talk to the Harkon leader guy. It's like, oh yeah, you know, it's ain't warm animals, it's warm blowhole, pretty much. His wife's under protection, and by extension, her son. Yeah, right. That's the witch mother lady. She's talking to the Harkon leader. Basically, tells him, "Oh, she and the son is under our protection. give them exile, and he's like, "Oh, we would never dream of violating anyone of whatever you say to us. That would be crazy." And then basically is like, when she leaves, no, we're still gonna kill them, but we're gonna make it look like an accident, because the desert takes the weak. Fuck your honor. Love that line. Oh yeah, the dad is just like, oh, I don't care about your honor. They tried to kill my son. Find the spy or the assassin or whatever. The back passage just played outside Moodle's window really threw me off. uh, Fast Metal with his review in 24 minutes. Sorry, 5 EFEP movies. I'm sorry. It's gonna make it look like an accident, just gonna let them die in the desert. Well, he later captures them, or lets them be captured, and then throws them out of the. I think they call them Thopters with TH. So yeah, he throws them into the desert, but tries to get them killed, basically. But yeah. So hell, let them die in the desert. Yeah. And then we see we see him float around with his long dress on. Looks kind of funny. Right. I feel like I've missed the part with the lad in the wall. Hang on, let me see. Oh yeah. So they had an that made me scratch my head. It's like, oh yeah, this Harkonnen agent was cemented into that hole 6 weeks ago. It's like, wow, you've been lying in there only with water for 6 weeks in the wall. That must be shitty. He had some food, yeah, but man, that's like just gonna poop all over the place in your little hidey hole. But yeah, that was kind of It's pretty quick as well. Like, oh, the Harkonnen agent was cemented that hole 6 weeks ago. It's like, oh, geez, okay. I don't think he's wearing the suit that does the thing. Harkonnens are bad and love the slaving. Oh, okay. But yeah, kind of insane that he was in there for 6 weeks. But yeah. But yeah, then we get to hear that the Harkonnens took 10 billion Solaris out of this spice operation every year, and basically just left them shitty equipment. So yeah, this was the old Harkonnen base they're on right now, but it's all like broken equipment apparently, and the dad basically said, "Oh yeah, we need to make this work. We need to bring peace and profit and whatever. Otherwise, Imperium is gonna be poopy at us." When Duncan is back from a scouting mission, meets up with the friendos, has no beard anymore. Why aren't you wearing a tank top? I don't own one. This seems that way. I don't like that they only have one spice refinery on the entire planet. I mean, that seems like a pretty big operation, so I don't know. Why aren't you wearing a tank top? All right. Not seeing what you're saying. Oh, it's fine. I'm just browsing through and talk about it. It's all part of the trap, yeah. Because it was never meant to be that they get this thing back running properly. But yeah, Duncan is coming back, meeting up with the friendos and the faction that he was talking to the Fremen. And they were talking about the... Oh yeah, and he brought the leader of them here as well, which we will see later in the movie as well. And it was like, oh, he has a knife, he doesn't want to surrender. And Duncan's like, oh yeah, that's like a sacred thing, he won't let go of it. And And Dad is like, oh yeah, that's fine. It's like, no, I meant to take over Arrakis, so get out of it. Yeah, they were basically sent here to get fucked up because apparently Imperium is scared of Atreides because they're powerful soldiers. Scarabland seemed a bit off to me. Just seemed like an area of the planet. Yeah, I think that's. Was that intended? I don't know. It didn't seem very big. Most habitable area they could find. Yeah. Yeah. Then the leader comes here. Oh, he spits on the floor, which is apparently a gesture of respect, kinda, because it's the moisture of their body, and we see them later on spit into a device and make water out of it, drinking water, and yeah, Atreides there basically tells them, "Oh yeah, as long as I'm here, you won't be hunted down." It's like a really quick conversation. Yeah, do not seek our sieges, do not trespass in our lands. And the leader's like, oh, I'm here to protect and rule Iraqis. If my duty needs me to go somewhere, this is basically what I'm gonna do. But as long as I'm here, no one was gonna hunt you down or kill you. What if someone's supposed to gain it? I don't know. And that's basically it. Making them feel friendly-ish towards each other. Then Leader Man wants to see the spice operations for himself. And this is another thing where the whole prophecy of the one with the voice coming to this planet is a thing. Because we get introduced to Kyne. Need to see the name again. It was like Kyne, I think. It was just Kyne. Kynes. I forgot an S. And she checks the guy, the leader's suit. I'm like, oh, you need to do this. And then he goes to Paul. I was like, oh wow, so that doesn't seem to be the first time you're wearing this suit. And Paul's just like, no, it's the first time. I've never used one before. But then she noticed that the desert boots. Your desert boots off at the slip fashion at the ankles. Who taught you to do that? And he's like, I don't know, just seemed right to do. And then she recites the thing. Did you go away? Ask him a question. Do you will go on the second part and watch this? WB Universe? What? What do you mean? Bad house was mad at the good house has been very obvious. The main character could have used that screen time, to be honest. Our mom cares deeply about Paul and that doesn't bargain with desert people, that she's pregnant, doesn't say anything when Paul might die. And agrees that this would be better as a TV show. Could you by the term desert power? Is it ever clear if he understands other languages? I think they're implying that he was taught by the mother. But I think that's about it. Yeah, and she basically says he will know his customs as if he was born with them. Basically, like he just knows how it works, and then they see like one of the spice collectors almost getting attacked by one of those worms. And they try to get them out of there, but then one of the anchors doesn't work anymore, so they can't do liftoff. And we just see that the dad is a good person, lets them land right next to it. Like, oh, we need to get them all in. It's like, oh, we can only use 6 people, put 6 people in each. And it's like, oh, we make it work, it's gonna be fine. And basically, they save all the peoples. While that happens, Paul has another vision premonition kind of deal going on, which is a very bad time because the worm is about to reach them. Don't quite remember if that is a specific vision or if he only hears some voices. I remember only he hearing voices, but yeah. What's to make Dune new Star Wars and milk them? Oh no. This looks like a bunghole. Yeah, those worms look like bungholes. That is true. Yeah, he basically saves them all, and all is good, except that they lose that spice collector. He sees himself getting stabbed. Oh yeah, okay, that's the first time that happens then. Alright, that's cool. That is alright. Yep. Yeah, he gets checked by the doctor again, and he tells Paul tells his mother about the vision, where we see the girl from the Frem people they meet later on, and apparently they get together. I'm assuming and getting stabbed. I think it's both. No, it's first he sees the stabbing thing, and then later when he tells the mother. He sees about her and that they somehow get together. But that is not for this movie, because that is not a thing that happens in this movie. We only get introduced to her a very end of the movie, like the last couple of 15 minutes or so, 20 minutes is where we see those. The Fremenheimers. Could take care of her. That would affect the baby. Wesley, she had reasons for doing it despite the pregnancy. Go back thinking about my death is. Alright, see ya, Yavi. Right, then we go back to the Harkonsheimers. The movie covers a little less than half the first book, I think. I see. Yeah, we see basically an army that's getting prepared. I don't know if they're doing like a war chant or religious thing here. It's just in a not understandable language for us. And we see a huge army being prepared, I'm guessing. And they basically like, yeah, you get so many armies. And go get to fuck those people up, because that's what we're here for. And then we have a little conversation between the mother and the father of Paul. Like, oh, if everything is falling apart, will you protect our son? She's like, of course I will. And it's like, I'm not talking to the mother, I'm talking to the what they call it, like the witch person people. Regis. Let's see. I mean, the book I always thought was pronounced Freeman because it's Freeman. It's an elite force of Bene Gesserit. Genau, that's the one. I'm just having a hard time remembering these names because there's a lot of sci-fi names, and as I said, this is like very Florman. Yeah, so we're basically getting ready for the first attack here. Not the first, like the attack where they annihilate our whole Atreides faction. So we see Dr. Ewan going around giving the people a glass of water and a pill, which I'm guessing is a sleeping pill, so they can get some sleep. This is the thing that's one of the things that confused me as well. It's like, why do they need this? Can't they just sleep normally? I don't know if I missed something in the movie, but he just puts it there. So I'm not sure why they need it, if it's because of the planet or something. That was It was weird. It was like, why do we need sleeping pills? Because it was like space jet lag. They can't sleep. I don't know. It was weird. But basically, the father's like, no, I don't want to sleep like this. I want to sleep normally. And then the plot. Kwisatz Haderach. Yeah, I don't know how to pronounce that. I heard it a couple of times, but I still don't know how to pronounce it. But yeah, that's the one. So yeah, Paul gets to most people in the universe take drugs for a lot of things. I mean, yeah, why? Like that's the thing I just don't know. It feels like that's just a thing that people who are very well versed in the Dune lore. But for me, it's like, why do they need this? Like, is sleep a weird thing in this universe? That just confused me a whole bit. But yeah, basically, Paul takes the pill, goes to sleep. Father and mother just chill out, basically. I don't know if they imply that they have some sexy time and then go to sleep, or if they're just chilling out. Could be both, doesn't really matter. They just chill out, do the thing, and go to sleep. And then we see the 3 security guards getting... Merenberg, they love them pills. Kwisatz Haderach. Maybe. The Duke specifically chooses to sleep naturally. Yeah, exactly. Makes difference if we know. I know that it makes difference if we know why they take sleep pills. Well, the sleeping pills, those are super sleeping pills because that's what they use to abduct Paul, because he's like fast asleep until he wakes up in the ship later on. Like if if the doctor would just come around and give me a pill for no reason just to sleep, it was like, well, where am I with this? I mean, with Paul, he could have said, oh, you had like the weird visions. Here, take this pill so you can chill out, helps you relax or whatever. But why with the dad? Like he was like, yeah, I don't need this. It's weird. I don't know. It just seemed kind of out of place. Pretty sus. Pretty much, yeah. Yeah, then we see the Harkonnen attack. We see someone shoot the security guys or paralyze them, tranquilize them, one or the other, which I think is supposed to be Dr. Ewan because he deactivates the shield and everything right after, and the energy. And because the dad did not take the sleeping pills, he opens his eyes and realizes there's something off. Like there's some blinking lights, and he looks out the window and sees some signals outside of the thing. And it's like, oh, security, but no one is answering. And then he sees, I think the housekeeping lady being stabbed to death, and then Dr. Ewan tranquilizes him as well and gives him a little poison tooth, which he is supposed to use against the Duke guy, the Emperor guy, the Harkonnen leader later on. So I don't know how he just replaces that on the spot while he's just lying there, because he has like a tooth with some little hooks in there. I don't know if he just jams it right in, but yeah. One-time thing happened out of nowhere. I didn't get the impression that it was abnormal for them. Even if it is normal, why would you regularly take a pill that leaves you that vulnerable during the night? It seems incredibly dangerous. Yeah, it just, I don't know. Feels very weird. He's not part of the Empire-tism, by the way. That is a different faction. Oh, yeah, the Harkons are not the Empire. I guess they just tell them to do the thing, if I understood that correctly. Well, they normally have security though, right? Yeah, they have security. But they got yeeted this time. So yeah, they realize shit is off. The Gurney guy is getting woken up. It's like the shield is down, and they all run out, see the big ship in the sky or in space. Harkonnen Empire teamed up. Yeah, okay. Yeah, should have made that clear. Yeah, they teamed up because they need someone to get rid of the traitors. No family trying to get their planet back. The other ones are some private army the Emperor sent us back up. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, that's words it way better than I did. Oh no, the Sard Uwu car. Which was out of Wild's DLC stream, and you're still playing the good Gorm. Shut up, Julius. Piece of shit. Anyway, they get attacked. We see lots of explosions. We also see that the parked ships all have the same shield technology as they have on their own on their own body, and they drop bombs that are falling very slowly because, as you remember, they can't pass if they just fall onto them. And we just see a nice little visual about with the bomb just drilling itself through, and we see the explosion being contained in the shield, and then the shield fails and then it explodes. Yeah, just another nice little visual thing that's going on. Yeah, basically just see the base being attacked. Everything gets fucked the fuck up. It's like the Atreides have no chance. They get surrounded, ambushed everywhere. They try to defend the entrance and immediately get ambushed from behind from more enemies. So they're very much overwhelmed in both firepower and manpower. They have no chance. And they abduct Paul and the mother, and also the father. Duncan did also something. Hang on. Yeah. Duncan is fighting some of them off. And this one, I actually like how they did it with the shields, because there we see it all right with the slow blades. Definitely better than in the other one I saw. Like, we see that he slows down. But yeah, could enter the ship while the shields were up. If you could wait. Shields are okay. They need to be that way for air to pass through. Gonna need to wrap this up. If you talk for long on a movie, then your review is invalid. Damn it. Oh, I don't have enough notes to make it longer than a movie. It's like a little talky talks about it. And as I said, this one was like decided on the fly to just cover it. If I do that again, I'll know in in advance and do some more notes, I guess, if I want to talk about it on stream. But I thought this was just like, yeah, let's do a little strumbletons of that. But yeah, Duncan fights some people off, gets a shipperoonies and flies off. Little chase sequence where the big ship tries to shoot them down, and he navigates through the debris and escapes narrowly. We then see Paul and the mother being abducted in the ship. Something that I didn't mention before. They also have a sign language. So they have the weird language, they have their own language, and then they have sign language with only one hand, which obviously is very helpful in this scenario because they can just communicate without them noticing. And he wants to use the voice, but the most like, you're not ready for this. Let's see, what are you guys talking about? Vulnerability into your shield because you're too lazy to turn them off before entering the ship. Makes them vulnerable. No, these ones don't. They cover the entire body, so air needs to pass through them. Cheerio, metal. May the massive be with you. Oh, thank you. Shields are impenetrable, you would suffocate. Ships don't need to breathe. With the ships, sure. Can't you have oxygen in the ship? The vulnerability of the shields is a side effect of other factors that were not deliberately designed with flaws in mind. While you're watching brutal effect movies starting, hey, rude. Made clear in the film, do you know how the scene your car works? Weren't the shields also responsible to make station habitable in the first place? The train mouth seems like a bad deal. Can't stay inside a car underwater forever. Futuristic spacecraft works. The ships, I could see the shields working differently. Yeah, we only see the shields on visually, where so far we haven't seen them in in action, if you will. Actually, no, that's not true. We see Duncan getting hit by an explosion, which doesn't do anything, I think. So yeah, I'm not sure how they mechanically work, but it's not a doesn't come up a lot here, I think. But yeah, it's would be interesting to know how it works, because we're more looking at looking through the characters, I think, instead of the mechanics of the ships. I feel like this could be explained in the next movie, because I feel like we're gonna have a lot of fighting and action in the next one. But yeah, then we see them in being held hostage, Paul and his mother, that is, and he once fails to use the voice to get him to uncuff his mother, and then he does the big concentration and succeeds, and he gets the guy to get rid of his mother's strap in her mouth. And because she is very well versed in the voice, she just basically tells them to set us free, kill each other, and they escape from the ship. But also the Harken have the ability to cripple the ship when they can't use it anymore. So they can't use it anymore because they realize something's wrong in their ship, and they set up a little tenty tent that Dr. Ewan provided them in a bag. Because while he betrayed the father and the whole faction, he was like, oh yeah, they have my wife. I had no choice. I'll try whatever I can to get your son to safety, but I have to deliver you. But also here's the little tooth that does poison that poisons the air around you, so you can kill the Harken lad. Happy late birthday, Mootle. No, that's fine. My birthday is every day. So yeah, they escape their hostage people, and make their way to somewhat safety, because they have as I said, they got the little tent and some equipment, and they hide out for the night. And we see the father completely naked, by the way, because I don't know why they got rid of all of his clothes, but they did. Maybe just so he doesn't have any concealed weapons. The Harken leader is having some food, and it's like, oh, we've been fighting each other, blah, 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 but this is coming to an end. I'm gonna kill you today. And then I don't think a lot of super interesting thing is basically says, oh yeah, Atreides is over, it's our time again, blah blah blah. Evil plot talkings, pretty much. And he gets close to the he talks to Dr. Ewan, and he's like, oh, release my wife. And it's like, oh yeah, I said I'm gonna put you guys together again, and he just kills the doctor, because apparently he killed the wife already. So yeah, there you go. I fulfilled my part of the deal with killing you. Yeah. Yeah, then the Harken guy said, how the Atreides falls today, your son and wife is already dead. It's nothing to do. And the father's like, and the guy gets closer. It's like, what did you say? It's like, I stand, you fall, or something. He does like a little, yeah, here I am, here I remain, I think was the line. And he bites on the tooth, it breaks, and he breathes the poison into the room and basically kills everyone in the room. Or at least we think he did. The baddie obviously survived, because we can't kill the baddie yet. We need him for later, probably. Right. So yeah, everyone in the room is dead. We think the Harkin bad guy as well, but that's about it. So yeah, Kynes made its way all the way to the Fremen somehow. I don't know how no one noticed him on this way here, but I guess we'll just have to accept that because that's what happened. And no, not Kynes, Duncan. Sorry, Kynes is there to greet him. Metal for no reason. I know, right? Everybody yells him, "Oh, everyone died," and then he basically said, "Oh, I'm commanded to say nothing. I'm not really one." And then next scene, we already see that the bad Harkin lad is still alive because he floated all the way to the ceiling. Yeah, I don't know how that worked. He somehow survived this. I have absolutely no idea. I don't know if the poison didn't go all the way up there or because he's the big chunky lad, he couldn't get poisoned fast enough. I don't know. But yeah, we go back to another vision from Paul where he basically sees that he's gonna lead a big ass war in his and his father's name to, I don't know, I guess save the universe or whatever, or the planet. I'm not exactly sure. They wear like white suits, so I'm guessing that's the style they go for the next one. See him have a big old fight, kill a bunch of people, and apparently go back to their homeland at some point. Just putting more seeds for the next movie, I guess. But yeah. More vision. He starts yelling at the moms like, "Ah, oh, because of you, I'm a freak." Having a little bit of tension there. But that's all the tension we get because after that we are focused on survival. So I don't know if that's gonna be going back. Poison wasn't slow enough right after the war vision in the tent. That's where the flashbang vision was. Oh, after the war vision, okay. That's fair enough. But yeah, they also have like a little tracking device in their equipment that Dr. Ewan left for them, and we see Duncan getting them. So Dune's just like Marvel teasing the next film in line. Yeah, there's a lot of those visions that are not for this movie. Like we see things that will happen in the future for him, but I guess most of them will be happening in in the next movies. Da, 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 da. Right. I'm just checking chat here. Still just notating the next one. Shields and armor. Oh, you're still talking about the shields. Yeah, so they get a little signal back, and Duncan finds them through the signal. And they go back to where Kynes is, a little hideout where I think they just have a little talk. Not a lot happens here. Everything that happens is they get ambushed pretty much right away. Like maybe a couple of hours later, they seem to hang out there for a little bit. And then they go back. Then they go to find one of those thopters. Yeah, yeah. Basically, Paul realizing he's now the leader of the Atreides. It's like, oh, if I make make a move against the throne, I can make you I can make you safe. Can keep you safe. That's what I was looking for. Keep you safe from everything with a whiff of my hand. But yeah, that's his plan now. Apparently, because he saw the vision. Yeah, we're not. Oh, still talking about shields. Okay. And then he basically tells her, "Oh yeah, I know who you are. I know you're working in two worlds." Basically telling them that he has like the vision things going on, and he sees things that he didn't know or shouldn't know. Anything, but yeah, we see some of the guys from this little outpost see the Harkons getting in there, and I think they hide in the sand, and then ambush them back, and we see them invading the little station, and now we see the vision from before. Or we see the scene where the vision happens, where Duncan dies. He fights off a lot of those people, while Paul and the mother and Keynes run away through a little tunnel system, and she's like, "Yeah, you go left. There's a Thopter, or like a spaceship. I feel I like this name, Thopter, a Thopter. Yeah, Thopter, Thopter. It's a weird name." It only holds two people. I can't go with you. I'm gonna go the other way because I live in the sand, and that's where I do it. I'll find a way. That's where we tease the sand power, or what they call a desert power, because she uses a little device to make a rhythmic sound to attract a worm. We see her having some couple of hooks, and I think the idea was that she uses the desert worm for transportation, but before the worm arrives, she just gets stabbed in the back. I don't know why she didn't look back to check if anyone was there, because, well, it's a fucking desert. You can see pretty wide in every direction. So I have no idea how they managed to just fucking sneak up on her without noticing. Because that sandworm was pretty far away, and considering they just got ambushed in their outpost, you probably want to be careful and look around a little bit before you just turn your back. And then another weird thing happens. So we know there's this little device that makes a rhythmic sound just like a couple of steps away from her. And she basically decides, "Oh, I'm going to take you all with me." And she starts pounding the sand. And for some reason, I don't know why, they just the worm decides to prioritize the little hand gesture instead of the device they made for it. So the device is not very far away, so I don't know what difference it would have made, because the worm was on its way anyways. So I don't know if there was a reason for her to do it, and if there was, I don't know why the worm would prioritize her little hand gesture instead of the device that was especially made to attract those worms. So yeah, basically they all get eaten by the worm, and another of our characters dies. Yeah, power of the desert, pretty much. All right, yeah, they fly away with the Thopter, the Paul and the mother, that is. And yeah, she tells him earlier, yeah, there's a storm coming. Just stay above the storm and fly over it, and you should be fine. But they get chased by some other guys. They shoot one volley of rockets at them and then just fuck off. I guess expecting them to just get yeeted, just get killed by the thing, and they fly into the storm. The rockets all explode. They're now in the storm, basically way too far in it to survive, and he has another vision. Yay! A vision where a lad that we meet later on says, "Oh, you just need to let go. You just need to experience reality," and blah blah blah. You can't stop it, just let it go. And then he just lets go of the controls and turns everything off. And they just wait out the storm while getting yeeted across the fucking storm, spiraling like this. I have no idea what the fuck is happening. But yeah, they just wait this out. We cut to the Harkin super big bad guy, who is now in a tub of lard, black goop. I think it's Fringy's evil goop. He's just bathing in there, getting healed by it. I'm just assuming it's some kind of healing goop that does things. I don't know. It's right, and Batista does the evil thing. Yeah, we chased him to a Coriolis storm, I think is what they call it, and yeah, it's 800 kilometers per hour storm. Yeah, winds at 800 kilometers an hour. There's no way they survive. So the classic evil thing. There's no way they survived. We didn't see them die, but there's no way. And of course, the big bad believes them. It's like, oh yeah, glad we did that. Now all we need is profit. Oh. Wait a moment. Yes, I'm waiting. The bad house is using a laser to open the closed door to get to our hero before the character dies from the worm. Yes, they're cutting through it. And I'm missing the scenes where the laser has no effect to the body shields because I don't see why I wouldn't use the laser as their main warfare. I don't think they use it at all against the guys. I don't remember them using it at all. Let me do a Chackaroonie maybe, but I'm pretty sure they just don't use it against Duncan. They all just get barely missed by the laser, I think. They cut through stone, they cut through the door, but I don't think we see it actually making contact with any of the shields. I think they basically just don't use it. Unless I missed it and they shot it. Now they fight. Because I noticed someone came in there with a weapon as well, but then I saw it was like a laser for the door and they just don't use it. Because I think they stab him the first time and then they start lasering the door. I don't think we see it make contact with a shield at all. Yeah, I don't think that happens at all. If you're inside, yeah, or you want to see the nuke in the movie. So yeah, the big bads basically accept the fact they're dead now, even though they didn't see him die. You know, the classic. When we cut back to Paul and the mother, who I have no idea how long they've been in this spaceship, the Thopter. But they covered their faces and everything because apparently sand got in it. So they've been in here for a while, spinning around like this. They should be fucking out. But they're just sitting there, no problem. The machine is offline and everything. But they only hear a little beep when they're apparently high enough, and then they put on the thrusters and get out of the storm, crash land into the sand, and make their way through the desert, pretty much. The Thopter had those suits I mentioned earlier. They just put those on and, yeah, make their way across the desert. And then we see a lot of walking and a little bit of visions with the lady again we see in a little bit. And more visions where he gets taught about things that happens in another movie, I guess. Yeah. So I think, because this was the one where I noticed it the most, there is a lot of scenes where they just show stuff which I feel are mostly too long. As nice as it is, as nice as it looks, I feel like there's a lot of time where we see people walk to stuff, we see things getting shown, and that's probably my main issue with the movie when I saw it. I feel it was kind of a drag to watch. Like, for me personally, I don't know how other people felt about it, but I feel like there could have been a lot of seconds in between scenes that could have just been cut out because they I feel like everything gets shown a little too much. Like, this movie is 2.5 hours long, and I feel like they could have easily cut out like 20 to 30 minutes. And man, it's like, I was 1 hour in, I was like, man, I'm a little bit bored. Like, we get lots and lots of exposition in this movie. Lots of exposition. And overall, I thought this was like a huge intro to a series that I watched. Because there's so much info you get, so much exposition of the lore and everything. And everything felt like a little too long. Just going up a little too long. And at some points I was just like, okay, get on with it. I get it. Which is interesting because I don't think they plan to do a second. Well, maybe they plan to do a second one, but they didn't have a second one approved yet. Especially all the visions. Like, some visions don't really tell you much. It's just like, oh, there's this lady he's gonna get together with, or love interest for the now second movie, which has been approved now. Yeah, and yeah, that's. I think I made some notes after the fact, just a little notes. Yeah, showing lots of showing of stuff, a lot of that in between scenes. Even though it was incredible to look at, like, it looked really fucking nice. Like, that movie looks very good. I really enjoyed it. But yeah, but we're nearing the end. We're like 15 minutes from the end, plot wise. Yeah, we see them walk across the desert, do the thing, blah blah blah. That's actually probably like a good 2 or 3 minutes of them just walking through different scenery of sand and rocks. And then one thing that I found really fucking weird, they're about to reach the mountain thingy or the rocks or whatever they are, and they go up the desert, the sand slope, and all of a sudden they get the sand and you hear like a thump, and then he says, it's drum sand. And I was like, what the fuck is drum sand? I don't remember them mentioning drum sand before. Maybe I missed it in one of the little research sections they did, but the fuck is drum sand? I mean, I could tell from what I heard, but what a weird thing that exists. But yeah, it's drum sand, and that attracts the big old worm. And they just make a run for the rocks, and this is where we see the visual I put right there. The big old anus worm. But yeah, he steps on a thing and it's called drum sand apparently. But yeah, this is where we see the worm in his full glory, its full anusy thingy. Like, it looks like a mixture of an anus or an iris. Same vibration they're pushing through to attract the worms. I don't know. Think of something different. Oh, okay. He mentions like it's a natural thing that appears here because it's drum sand. It's like, and it does like a little sound. No, not this much, but it's just like dump dump. Yeah. There are also high-tech suits for similar shit. I'm sure there would be suits you could have under the shield. Oh, you touched it. Talking about the shields. I really missed the shield section. I didn't want to get too far into the shields because I have no idea. But yeah, if anyone watching this in the shields, you should have looked at chat for a little bit. They've been talking about this for a while. Yeah, so they barely escape the worm anus, and they say, "Oh, someone set up a thumper." So basically, got saved by someone setting off a thumper, which is the device Kane's used before to Rosetta Stone. Ew. Don't forget the piano sound. Yeah, then we finally see the Fremen in their full glory. One of them is the guy who talked to Father Guy in the beginning, when they arrive, and they talk like, "Oh yeah, I'm the Duke's son," blah blah blah. Then one of the guys like, "Oh, he's weak," and then the leader says, "Oh, they did some brave stuff. They're not weak at all." And it's like, "Oh, help us get off and we can help you." It's like, "Oh, nothing you can do." And they basically overwhelm the leader guy, take him kind of hostage, take his gun, because they do have guns. I don't know if it's like a actual gun, because I don't think we've seen them getting shot, but they do have guns. Yeah, Paul takes his gun, takes place on a little sniper position. The mother takes the leader guy because she can fight too, which we didn't know. And yeah, he basically takes them under the protection, and we see the lady from the vision he gets together with at some point. She was stationed behind him, taking care. He wouldn't shoot anyone, but he didn't notice because she seems to be a seasoned warrior apparently. I don't know yet because we don't really get anything much from her. She's just part of the group, and it's called Chani, and she's in charge of the newcomers. But we have one guy in here who's like, "I don't accept this. I want to fight them." Like, oh shit, that's the guy he saw in his vision. That's the guy who's gonna stab him. But of course, that's not gonna happen. They're gonna fight. Paul is actually stronger than him. He's much better versed in the fighting, from what we can tell in the scene. But then they mentioned, "Oh, why is he toying with our guy?" And she's like, and the mother's like, "Oh, he just never took a life before. He never killed a man." It's like, oh shit. Yeah. Was the black guy that dueled Paul the same guy that appeared in the visions? "I'll teach you our ways." Clearly, would make the meaning of the visions more ambiguous, which I'm sacred. Of how they try to make it in the movie. No, the guy "I'll teach you our ways" is, I think there's another black dude in here who's a little bit older than the guy he fights. I'm pretty sure that's the guy from the vision. This is the guy who he sees stab him in the vision. But yeah, he remembers the vision, and yeah, he ends up killing the guy. He stabs him to shit. Because the thing is, he overwhelms him the first time, holds the knife to his throat, and he says, "Do you yield?" And then all of a sudden the guy goes, "Oh, he doesn't know about the rules. It's life or death. You can't just yield. You have to kill the other one." It's like, oh shit, you might want to say that before we started the fight to the death. Like, Jesus, kind of fucked up. Might want to mention that before. But yeah, they're fighting. Paul wins. He kills him. They all wrap him in here, and he was like, "Oh, you're one of us now, a life for a life," which I think implies that he now has to join them because he killed one of their guys. He has to join them, and seems like Cheney is very interested in our guy because, like, "Oh man, he killed a guy, woo woo woo." He seems to be pretty impressive, and they walk off to the sieges, and that's the end. That's the end. very open-ended because we don't really have anything that has a end to it. We just getting to the sieges, and I think the next movie is gonna be them starting an army or whatever. I'm not sure. See how that works. Oh yeah, also we see a shot of the desert power, which is someone riding a sandworm for transportation. But yeah, that's about it. That's me going through the thing. So I'm gonna be honest, I didn't really like it that much. Uh, feels like a lot of movie with not a lot of story in it. I feel like it's, as I said, it feels like a big intro to set up the whole thing that's gonna be happening next, obviously. Like, feels we just set up what's happened, where a protagonist goes, and then the movie ends. This almost felt like the first thingy. I take over a dumb movie. Yeah, I mean, this was better than a lot of stuff I've seen in this last year, obviously. But I, I got bored in between because there was a lot of stuff that wasn't that intriguing to me. I feel like it's gonna be interesting for people who are more well versed in the Dune lore. I think, like, Desert Poe is someone eating pudding. Next movie better have mass orgies. I don't know. I don't know if that's gonna work. I don't think we can make that happen. Yeah. I except for the dad, I don't really cared for most of the characters, if I'm being honest. We all set some seeds for some characterizations, like some of the tension between the mother and Paul was like, because of you I have these visions and you made me a freak and whatever. Uh yeah, instead of showing all the things, I feel like we could have had some more time with the characters. Because except of Paul being the heir of the father, I think he's just gonna take over the characterizations of the dad. Like, he's pretty simple as a character. We don't know if there's not a lot there, I think. And there were characters in this movie. Definitely were characters in this movie. Is Dune better than Doom? Overall, yeah, I think so. Doom is an absolute train wreck. I really, really enjoyed it, but one of the best characters person being the mother isn't really a good sign. He was already, like I said. Yeah, I think so. I think so. Like, we got a little bit of things like, oh, what if I fail being a leader? But there was just in their conversation between the two in the beginning that didn't really come up. I wonder if that's gonna come back up in the next one where he has to lead someone, because right now there's not a lot there. We have some seeds where he questions stuff, but then we just go ahead and do something else right away. Mm, yeah. But yeah, the pacing didn't really work for me as well. That they showed so many things in between that I didn't really care for. Well, I did care for it, but they showed it too long. I feel I would have enjoyed it a bit more if it would have been a little shorter. And I don't care about long stuff, obviously. Like, I don't care about long content, but everything was like a little bit too long on the screen, if that makes any sense. But yeah, I think I want to check out the sequel for sure. I think there's a lot of mechanical stuff that probably doesn't work. Like, I think if I mean, you guys in chat look deeper into the shields already and how they could and couldn't work. I didn't really look into that deep, because I said this was like a whim thing I decided to do, or I should say Mueller made the suggestion to maybe talk about the movie which is not a bad idea. I would like to do that more often. I think I did start that with the Tomorrow War thingy, and I kind of want to do it more often. And maybe, yeah, I'm probably gonna cut this one off from the stream VOD and put it on the YouTube channel, and do this more often. But yeah, I wonder how the sequel turns out. If that picks up on everything we put down here. But just now on the whim, I think, yeah. I don't know what else is there. Yeah, I like all. I think I mentioned this already, but I like the whole style of how everything looks. Like the factions look very different from one another. They're easy to separate. They have like their own little armors and stuff going on. I think the fighting with the shields gets a little confusing because of the shield blue and red stuff going on. Can be a little bit confusing for the eyes. At least I got a little bit confused. It's hard to tell what happens sometimes, but it's fine. It's fine. It's not super bad, but it can get a little hectic, especially when there's a lot of people on screen. But yeah, I think that's about it. I'm sure there's more, which in the future I'll be talking about more specific stuff in in the movies that I'll want to talk about. So probably just do, I don't know, maybe do random movies, maybe get some guest on, like a Mupschli and a Frongold and all that stuff, and just pick out let them choose a movie or whatever, and see if there's anything interesting we can do. So maybe do a little kind of series out of this. I don't know. We'll see. It's like a little experiment, especially as a standalone video. I want to see how people like it. Moodle Fab. Yeah, so basically just going through some videos. But yeah. Yeah, 1 hour 40 minutes. That's all right. That's all right. I like this is a pretty good time for just a little experiment, just off the whim, without taking any notes, just going by heart, really. Yeah, I like it. I think it was interesting just to do. Oh, cool. It's not a massive problem. Oh, it's just still the shields. EFAB, every frame a beard. Yeah, we'll see. But yeah, if you see this on the YouTube, that's the end of this for now. If you're with me here on Twitch now, I'm just gonna play games now. You know, the thing I do most of the time. But yeah. Hey, chat, say goodbye to YouTube, chat. Chat, say goodbye. I told you to say goodbye to chat. Come on. Say goodbye. Be good. Huh? Wow, I can't believe no one is saying goodbye. That's kind of fucked up. YouTube stink. Dreads, tism, bye. Alright. This is where it cuts off. We could do a little screw you, YouTube. Condom shy. Alright. But yeah, that's the Dune. Hassan Gravia slandering YouTube. Right, okay, let's do some Metroid Dread. Game Capture HD. Game we're playing. I'm continuing my Metroid Dread phlisms. Alright. Let me just, wait, what? Oh, really? System update? Motherfucker. Well. Wait, what? Hang on. It's doing a tism. Come on, do the update. Oh yeah, I haven't rewatch the first Dread stream either. Metal Re. I'm sorry. But not really. I'm not really sorry. I lied. Da, 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 da. I'm just gonna wait for this update to go through. I should probably get rid of this picture here. Blup.